So good afternoon and good morning to all of you, and welcome at another virtual presentation, this time for professional audio systems. My name is Martijn van Overveld. I'm the Senior Marketing Manager EMEA for, amongst other, professional sound systems. And the topic of today's webinar is professional sound solutions for sports venues. And here we will focus, as you can see in the brands here in the top, on the ElectroVoice and Dynacord brands. But before doing that, I want to start with, I would say, the bigger picture. Because ElectroVoice and Dynacord, as most of you know, are part of the Bosch Group, which means that we can leverage from a wide portfolio in audio communications to enable end-to-end solutions. After that, in the second part of this presentation, I'll focus a bit more on the Pro Sound portfolio, which means ElectroVoice and Dynacord. I will give you an overview, and also we have prepared a lot of examples on how to use our portfolio in sports venues, and a couple of these examples I will showcase to you. Last but not least, I want to touch base with you on support, physical support, and experience that we can showcase as ElectroVoice and Dynacord. Having said that, let's start with, as I said, the bigger picture. So end-to-end solutions by Bosch. What can the company of Bosch do for you in regards to sports venues? And I brought this little overview here of a stadium. And I want to start with the outer ring of the stadium. And what you see in this outer ring is, for example, fan shops, a restaurant plaza, conference rooms. Basically, Bosch can offer all-in commercial audio in conference systems, in public address and voice alarm to keep the audience in these areas, in these outer areas, safe and also excited. With RTS, our critical communications part of the portfolio, we can make sure that during the match, everything is, all the communication is safe, but also that the broadcast of the communication through the OB truck, which stands outside of the sport venue, is done in the best way possible. If we move to the inner part of the stadium, the main bowl, that is where we find Dynacord and ElectroVoice, the Pro Sound solutions that, as we always say so nicely, that make the event an unforgettable one for the winning team. Now, let's have a closer look at what we can offer as ElectroVoice and Dynacord. So we move into the brand of ElectroVoice. And ElectroVoice is our loudspeaker part of the portfolio. And what I did here for you is to give you a little bit of an insight. It's far too much to go in 20 minutes in detail through. We have our trainings in the learning management system online, but to give you just a hint of what we can do for these kind of applications. In the top of this picture, you see with the arrows a lineup of our ElectroVoice portfolio on a coverage distance. And you see all kind of different shapes and sizes, basically to use indoor, outdoor, short range with commercial series, front-loaded loudspeakers for a little bit further range coverage, then increasing coverage range, horn-loaded series, and of course several line arrays that we have in the portfolio. So together with a full range of subwoofers ranging 8-inch single towards a double 18-inch subwoofers, which we are told from our market players that this is the most powerful available at this point of time. All these components, they make it possible, or they form, you could say, the building blocks for the system designer to address the needs of specific applications. Before going into some examples of these specific applications, I want to share with you what we can do or what we can offer today with the Dynacord brand. And Dynacord stands for electronics. Starting on the left here with a powerful digital audio mixer, 24x24, fully digital Dante and OCA enabled audio mixer, which is, you could say, the head of the system in these kind of sports venues. And in the middle, the amplification. So a lineup of 2, 4, and 8 channel amplifiers. Again, DSP, fully DSP on board, and then in the IPX series, also Dante and OCA enabled, and specifically there, very high reliability and also energy saving 50% or more versus competing and older models on energy, which is quite an important topic today. And then all this comes together in a software suite, which we call SonicQ software. So SonicQ software is a system-based software with which you can design, control, and also supervise your system of loudspeakers and electronics. So as I said, it's a system software which incorporates both the view from the loudspeakers and the view from the electronics. Now that's all nice. How is this used then in sports venues? As I said, we prepared in the meantime multiple what we call solution examples or solution flyers, where we give you an idea on how specific products can be used in specific sport venue applications. And we are still working on more of these solution examples. And I want to share specifically two with you now, which is, let's start with a small one, a small sports venue, small stadium. So here, a typical example, 3,000 seater, 3,000 seating capacity with only one stand. It's a local soccer club, you could say. And what is important here is that these guys, they want a turnkey solution. They don't want to shop and do very sophisticated designs with multiple products. They want to have the solution out of one hand for foreground music, for commentary, for announcements. Also, you have to deal with volunteers there that have to control the system. So the user interface should also be intuitive. In these kind of areas, you have limited mounting possibilities. As you can see here in the picture, you have some lighting poles. You have a small stand there, which you're not sure if you can hang a lot of loudspeakers there under that roof. So also there you need to have the right solution. And of course, as always, the budget can be quite tight here. So they do an investment, and that has to run for a long time. So an idea on what you can do with ElectroVoice and Dynacord. First here, the first statement here is covering, covering the signal chain. We can offer not only the loudspeakers and the amplifiers, but also, for example, wireless microphones, RE3 or R300 series, a CMS mixer, which is sturdy and easy to understand also for these volunteer people that work with the system. If you run it to the max, the C series amplifiers, they have a perfect overload protection and are praised for their high quality and long lifetime. Then you need to put these. You cannot put it under the roof, so you need weather resistant speakers, and especially here to mention the SX600 PI, which is a weather resistant weatherized speaker with what we call a strong arm mount, so you can easily mount it on a light pole and aim across the pitch towards the audience. It's a powerful loudspeaker, also flexible in mounting outside wherever you need it. Another example. Let's take a large sports venue. In this example, we take 40,000 seats. 40,000 seat stadium has a little bit different requirements than a smaller stadium. Also, the budget is somewhat bigger, you could say. But what they are interested in is cost of ownership, cost of operation. That gets more important because you want to have a green footprint as a stadium, as the stadium owner. Also here you have match days, but most of the time these stadiums are not running because there are non-match days. So you want to rent it out in non-match days. So different areas, different controls. So you have to be flexible there on how to use the sound system. And then acoustically, this is a little bit bigger challenge than the smaller example that we just saw, with a lot of concrete, a lot of reflecting areas. So also there, how do you deal with that? Well, to give you an idea on a possible solution with Dynacord and ElectroVoice, in this example we have used the horn-loaded EVH series, EVF series for full coverage. So basically, the nice thing about these speaker families is that they have multiple levels of weatherization, and all the accessories for rigging horizontally or vertically together to build arrays of horn-loaded or front-loaded speakers. On the electronic side, you can use MXC5, the mixing control in combination with SonicQ. SonicQ software has can have a viewer app, or you use a touch panel control to control in different areas the sound system and also by different users. I was talking about energy safety or energy savings. Well, IPX, with IPX series amplifiers, they incorporate technology that we call eco rail, which means that when they're not used, they are on the low current rail and also basically using less energy than when run at full load. And on top of all that, MXC5 is capable, as said, is fully digital with Dante and OCA, and in that way it can also interconnect with third-party systems, like for example a public address announcement system. Yeah, those were two examples that I worked a little bit out for you in a slide, but you have more. As I said, we have prepared these ones. You can find them on our web pages of Dynacord and ElectroVoice, and we are preparing more of these to give you more ideas on how to use which products in which applications. Now, the thing here is, I'm also aware that giving nice application examples is one thing, but to get, let's say, to a successful completion of specific applications, especially when the applications get a little bit larger, yeah, then this can be quite complex. And actually what you need then is you need the right expertise and the right support to be in place. And also that we can deliver. That brings me to the last part of my presentation, experience and support. Because with ElectroVoice and Dynacord, we have a long experience. Actually, in the last 15 years, we helped our partner network to establish over 500 stadiums in the regions. And I say we, but I must compliment that our technical support team. So we have more than 25 specialists in this field of business that work every day to bring the best electronics and networks designs and acoustic designs towards our partner channels, and also help there with technical trainings and commissioning. That is part of our success, and an important part of our success, I would say. And I'm telling about these 500 stadiums, so also there to support you a little bit further in bringing forward what we can do as ElectroVoice and Dynacord. Two specific tools that I want to point out. first our a brand new reference brochure for sports venues. So we compiled a number of our latest references in sports venues into this reference brochure for you to bring along when you go to your end customer, to your end user, or your second tier channel partner. Besides that, for the specifier specifically, we have provided, or we have launched in the past months, what we call a consultant resource page. If you want to plan your sports venue and you want to have everything found in one place, A&E specs, GLL files, etc., then this is the place where you can find them. Go to the ElectroVoice or the Dynacord page, and in the top you see a button, Consultants. If you press that, then you will reach this consultant resource page where you can easily find everything you need for your specifications. Maybe good to mention that that we have extended our third-party speaker files now also with a number of Bose speakers. And when you go to our website Dynacord and go to the SonicQ part of the website, then you can find a link towards the web page where you can find all these loudspeaker files for your download, and those can then again be used for our IPX amplifiers. I would like to thank you very much for your attention, and have a great rest of the day or evening. Thank you.